Despite good news about the cost of Obamacare recently, a conservative blog, American News, reported that the Obamacare death panels have conducted their first execution. It was of 86-year-old Dorothy Zborknak. I believe we have a picture of the woman who was executed by the Obamacare death panels. So she's a lovely looking lady, obviously quite tragic.
This is the moment I've been waiting for in my year and a half at TYT to finally get to talk about Dorothy Zborknak. I'm very excited.
Yes, so
but continue, John.
So we have a quote from one of the death panel administrators, again, reported by conservative news site American News. Unfortunately, the cost of her care just became too expensive. Under the ACA, we have the power to make choices about end-of-life care, and I stand by our ruling. I know it will be hard for the family to accept what's going to happen, but from a financial standpoint, this was a very easy decision. Also a very easy decision to run that on your news site, American News.
Why? It's not new. It's not real?
Not real. Well, they did. They got it from another source, so I guess we should identify that. It was from the Daily Current, a satirical website with a mission to ridicule the timid ignorance which obstructs our progress and promote intelligence. So thank you, American News, for demonstrating both of those.
So they don't know that's a satirical, they're a news organization?
They don't know, one, that the Daily Current's a satirical news site, which you can forgive them. There are a lot of websites. But two, that Dorothy Zborknak is an actress on the long-running and well-cherished, particularly by Dave Rubin, Golden Girls.
So normally a journalist would check that story, right?
You'd think.
Before you put it on your newspaper or whatever,
Yes.
your news site, you would go, you'd look up that woman, you'd call someone, you'd double-check, because you just have two sources.
No, but you could be fooled, though, when you look at the other stories on their site with headlines like Obama announces 2-year golfing trip and Al-Qaeda member elected to California City Council. It looks legit.
True. That happened.
Listen, as hard as it is for me to understand how someone could not know who Dorothy Zborknak is, I'm sure that this person had Google also, and you maybe would have just Googled the name of the woman just to see, and I'm pretty sure you would have seen B. Arthur. Yeah, I mean, this story is completely ridiculous. But related to the Golden Girls, I was telling John before the show, almost every liberal principle that I believe in, I learned from the Golden Girls. So people ask me why I love the show so much. Not only was it funny, but everything that we talk about here all the time about women's rights and gay rights and economic equality and just and anti-war stuff, everything was packed in that show.
Yeah. So it's incredibly ironic that Obama wound up killing one of the Golden Girls.
I know.
That's bureaucracy for you.
No, okay, so let's
the funny thing is that B. Arthur has been dead for about 10 years.
Yeah,
they should have said Rose Nyland because at least Betty White is alive and it would have. B. Arthur's dead.
Yeah, and 10 years ago, so it turns out Bush killed him.
Okay. It was actually before the ACA. That's how sinister Obamacare is.
Yes. So look, not only should you have Googled it before you put it up, and obviously you're not real journalists, everybody knows that, right? But like, you're so unbelievably dumb. Like, if we came across a story that said like Bush personally strangled someone, right, or they instituted a death panel where he put somebody in a headlock and choked him with a pretzel, whatever the
Bush kills dry cleaner George Jefferson on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
Right.
We might have.
Yes.
We would double check.
Yeah.
We would double check and go, wow, that's amazing. That seems like that was our talking point. I can't believe our talking point happened. Yeah. So let's look into that. And you know what? Maybe we'll get more amazing details, make our case better.
Yes.
Right? Anything, any kind of checking. But they so live in their conspiracy-based world that to them, this story didn't seem incredible.
Right.
It seemed like, well, obviously, of course, the death panels exist. We never landed on the moon, and hence, obviously, Obama killed B. Arthur.
Gravel quarry worker Fred Flintstone dies after giant dinosaur falls on him. You might follow it up and see did this happen.
We almost got caught when we read the news headline one day that Chelsea Clinton had almost died before a wedding by licking faulty stamps. The invitations. And
I just watched
we
that
almost
episode
went
yesterday.
there. Oh, really? Nice.
So I went to get my hair cut for my big television taping the other day. It looked fantastic. And the lady doing my hair said, "Did you hear that George Bush got arrested today?" Mm-hmm. And I said, "No, where did you hear that?" She goes, "Oh, I was on the internet, didn't you?" I go, "Did you maybe check that?" She goes, "Oh, no, I didn't have time." I go, "I don't think he can be arrested. There's Secret Service around him, and I don't think people can arrest the president."
Yeah, but that's a great point by
citizens arrest.
Right. Yeah. It's a great point by Jimmy, because if a headline came somehow across our desk that said George Bush arrested, we would have triple checked. We wouldn't have rushed on and be like, hey guys, holy shit, did you hear? George Bush got arrested.
Can I say something self-deprecating about our organization? We did, I'm not joking this time, we did almost run a story that at the last minute, I did a little bit of extra checking, we found out it was fake. But it was a stupid little story about how police were banning breakfast sandwiches because too many people were eating and driving dangerously with the breakfast sandwiches. But we did actually check it, we didn't run that story.
That's
But if it was something...
not even that far-fetched.
That's why we almost ran it. It's silly. No, but
I think it's illegal to eat while you're driving.
It might be. There were a lot of quotes from the police talking about how they were being distracted by the delicious bacon and luscious eggs. That threw me off. But also, by the way, I do want to point out, it wasn't just American news that was stupid. This was picked up by a conservative Facebook group. It was posted on the Patriot Facebook page in September and quickly spread. It had over 6,000 likes and was shared nearly 5,000 times. Many of them might have been sort of ironic. But this is something that they are just waiting to gobble up.
I don't think so.
The death panels. The death panels which don't exist.
I don't understand.
Yes.
I can't believe no one on the Patriot Facebook page is a Golden Girls fan.
That's what I'm outraged about.